Hello friends, this is the very first lecture on electromagnetic field theory, and before going into the detail of electromagnetic field theory you must know what is electromagnetics and what is field, and then what is electromagnetic field. So basically, what is electromagnetics? Electromagnetics may be regarded as study of interaction between electric charge at rest and electric charge in motion. An electric charge at rest gives you electric field, and electric charge in motion gives us magnetic field. So interaction of electric field and magnetic field is something which is electromagnetics, and its proper definition can be: electromagnetics is a branch of physics or electrical engineering in which electric and magnetic phenomena are studied. This electromagnetic doesn't found its application only in electrical engineering, but also it is applicable in many of the disciplines like in electronics engineering, communication engineering, electronics engineering, medical field, and even in agriculture. And this electromagnetics field theory or electromagnetics basically revolves around four Maxwell's equations, and the Maxwell equations are del dot D equals to rho V, and this is known as your Gauss law, which is actually this Gauss law says, or according to this Maxwell's first equation, we have electric charge produces electric field. This rho V is somehow related to electric charge, and this D is related to electric field. So it says electric charge produces electric field. Next Maxwell equation is del dot B is 0. This is Gauss law for magnetism, and it says no magnetic monopole can exist, or whenever you have a magnet, it has north pole and south pole associated with it. You don't have, or you can never have, only a north pole or south pole. Even if you break a magnet, you will have two magnets with north pole and south pole. So this is the second Maxwell equation. Third Maxwell equation is del cross E is minus del B by del T. This is Faraday's law, and it says time varying magnetic field gives electric field. And last Maxwell equation is Ampere's law, which is written by or given by this equation: del cross H equal to J plus del D by del T. It says steady current and time varying electric field gives magnetic field. Now here some terms are included that maybe some of you may not be familiar with. So this triangular shape structure is known as del, or we call is at del, and it is vector differential operator, and it is defined as del by del x ax plus del by del y ay plus del by del z az, where this ax, ay and az are unit vector along x, y and z, x, y and z axis in rectangular coordinate system. So we will look at this del operator in future lectures. This D is electric flux density in coulomb per meter square, and it is related to electric field intensity by this relation. This D is epsilon naught E for free space, and D is epsilon E in any medium, and epsilon is epsilon R into epsilon naught. This B is magnetic flux density in Tesla or Weber per meter square. E is electric field intensity in volt per meter. H is magnetic field intensity in ampere per meter. Rho V is volume charge density in coulomb per meter cube, and J is current density in ampere per meter square. This del dot is known as divergence operator, and del cross is known as curl operator. You will see these two terms also in future lectures. And as I told you, Maxwell's equation is basis for electromagnetics. Now This electromagnetics, basically in EMFT we will deal with some scalar quantity, vector quantity and field. So we must know what is a scalar, what is vector and what is a field. So a scalar is a quantity that has only magnitude, for example time, mass, electric potential and population. Next, vector. So a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. Also, attribute of vector quantity is that it must follow vector sum of addition or parallelogram law of addition, and its example are force, velocity, electric field, intensity. Now if we consider current, then we can have clockwise current and anti-clockwise current. So you can say current has direction also, so current should be a vector quantity, but current is a scalar quantity because current doesn't follow vector sum or parallelogram law of addition, and it is evident from the KCL or from the Kirchhoff's current law statement that says algebraic sum of current entering or leaving a node or a closed path is 0. So KCL says algebraic sum of current, and it is not talking about vector sum. So current is not a vector quantity, it is scalar. Next term is field, and a field is a function that specifies a particular quantity everywhere in region. So field is something which exists in a region. It is not at a point. So field exists in a region. And okay, one more thing about the vector is that we denote vector by a bar or bold A if the quantity is A. Now in field, if the quantity for which we are talking about the field, so if the quantity is scalar, then the field associated with that quantity will be scalar field, and if the quantity is vector, then the field will be vector field. Example of scalar fields are temperature distribution in building and electric potential in a region. Okay, this temperature distribution is in a building is also useful in designing cooling of a building, because if you want to maintain temperature in a building at some particular temperature, then you must know what is the temperature distribution is in that building. So this temperature distribution is a important concept, but it is not important for you from this EMFT point of view at this present position. Next, vector field example can be gravitational force on a body in space and magnetic field in a region. Now some basic terminologies are about vector. Unit vector. A unit vector denoted by small a cap. This cap is important to denote unit vector. We generally put a cap over the quantity to denote unit vector. So a unit vector small a cap along vector A, which is denoted here by a bar, is defined as a vector whose magnitude is unity, that is 1, and its direction is along A. So mathematically, unit vector A is vector A divided by its magnitude. So vector A can be denoted as magnitude of vector A times unit vector. So this gives magnitude of this vector, and this a cap gives direction of this vector. And you can say, suppose this is your vector A. Okay. Yeah, suppose okay, suppose this is your unit vector, vector A, then unit vector will be something which has magnitude of A only. Wait, let me delete this first. Okay, so unit vector will be something like this, which has magnitude of 1. Now Apart from this, there are some other terminologies in vector like null vector. So null vector is something which has uh, zero magnitude. Then there is like vector. Like vectors are vectors which are parallel. So this and this, they are like vector. Suppose here I have this and this, then this is okay, this is the arrow, they are not in the same direction, so these are unlike vector. And there is a term known as collinear vector. So planar vector actually, or collinear, yeah, it is planar vector. So suppose planar vector is something which lies in a plane. Suppose this is it is not good. Suppose this is a plane xy, then any vector which is in this plane like this and these two are planar vector because it lies in the same plane. So these are some of the types of vectors. Now a vector a bar in a rectangular coordinate system, I have written here rectangular coordinate system because you have to read other coordinate system also. So I am currently talking about rectangular coordinate system here only. So a vector a in rectangular coordinate system may be written as ax ay az, or ax times unit vector ax plus ay times unit vector ay plus aj. Okay, sorry, it is az times unit vector az. This ax, ay and az are components of vector a along x, y and z direction, or x, y and z axis. So this is ax, ay, az. This ax cap, ay cap and az cap are unit vector along x, y and z respectively, and ax, ay, az, this capital Ax, capital Ay, capital Az are component of this unit vector a along x, y, z axis. So unit vector overall for this unit vector along vector a will be what? So unit vector is what? Vector divided by its magnitude. So vector is what? Ax plus ay plus az, and its magnitude is ax square plus ay square plus az square. So vector divided by magnitude will gives you unit vector along vector a. Okay. So your next topic is vector addition and subtraction. Suppose we have two vectors a and b defined by this a and vector b, and c is the sum of a and b vector. Then c will be we can calculate c using component wise addition or using axis wise addition. So we will add x component together, y component together and z component together. So it will be like ax plus bx ax plus ay plus by ay plus az plus bz az. And for this is the mathematical summation, but we can do this in graphical way also, and we have parallelogram law of addition and head to tail rule for this addition. So in parallelogram law we make a parallelogram using the two vectors. Suppose here I have vector a and this is vector b. So make a parallelogram using these two vectors. So I have just made this parallelogram. Now the diagonal that connect this point, or this is the tail point of two vectors, and the other end of the this parallelogram, this will gives you a summation c. In head to tail rule we move or we add tail of one vector to the head of other. So here I move this b from here to here and I have moved it parallelly. So I just connect tail of b with head of a and just join this. So this will be your c. I can move this b a also, means I can connect this like C. So I moved A from here to here, and I connect tail of A with head of B, and just join this to get C. Next is subtraction. Subtraction is suppose D equals to A minus B. So I can write A minus B as A plus minus of B. So it will be AX minus BX AX plus AY minus BY AY plus AZ minus BZ AZ. And in diagram or in graphical way, we will have this is your A, this is your B. But now to get A minus B, I have to add A plus minus of B. So if this is your B, then minus of B will be something like this. So this is your A, this is minus B, and we just make a parallelogram and find that particular diagonal. So this is your D, which is A minus B. Now there are two other type of there are two more terms, which is position vector and distance vector. So position vector is basically denoted by RP, and it is defined as directed distance from origin O to any particular point P. So suppose point P suppose there is point P in Cartesian coordinate system, and I am representing it by x, y, z. Then position vector will be R. It can be denoted by RP, and it will be like OP. Suppose see, this is x, y, z plane. This is my position vector. Position. No, it is not position. It is some point P, random point P in x, y, z coordinate system. So RP will be OP. So this is point P minus origin, and origin is what? 0, 0, 0. So it will be x minus 0 AX plus y minus 0 AY plus z minus 0 AZ. So it will be x AX plus y AY plus z AZ. Now this is the example that I have used here. So if point P is 2, 3, 1, then distance vector will be 2AX plus 3AY plus 1AZ. And this is position vector, and distance vector is the displacement from one point to another point. So suppose we have point P at position xp, yp, zp, and point Q at xq, yq, zq. Then distance vector will be displacement from P to Q, and it is denoted by R PQ, and this R PQ will be RQ minus RP. So it will be like xq minus xp in direction of AX, because RQ is what? xq, yq, zq, and RP is what? xp, yp, zp. And we while having summation or subtraction in vector, we do it by component wise. So we will do it by in AX direction plus in AX direction, AY direction, and AZ direction. So it will be like xq minus xp AX plus yq minus yp AY plus zq minus zp AZ. So this is your position vector R, sorry, not position, this is distance vector R PQ, which gives displacement from P to Q, and it is shown here graphically. So this is your P, this is your Q, and this is the displacement or distance vector R P Q. So it is directed from P to Q, so Q minus P. Okay, this is what you can say. Okay, this vector A, any vector A may depend on point P. For example, if A is 2 times xy AX plus y square AY minus x z square AZ, and suppose point P is 2 minus 1 4, then vector A at point P will be minus 4AX plus C. I am just putting the value of x, y, z in this. So x is 2, y is minus 1, and z is 4. just just substitute these values in this, you will get vector A at point P. So it is not necessary that vector A is constant, it varies point to point. And if a vector field doesn't vary with spatial variables, or if a vector field doesn't depend on space variable xyz, then that particular vector field is said to be constant or uniform vector field. Examples are 4ax, suppose vector A is 4ax plus 5ay minus 7az. So this vector doesn't depend on x, y and z, it is just fixed value. So everywhere this vector A or this field A is everywhere this value only. But if I am provided with some vector field using of this type, or suppose here I have written, if vector B is like this 4x plus 5ay minus 60xyaz, then it is not uniform field, or it is not uniform vector. Why? Because it varies from point to point. At some point it is some value, at other point it is some value. See here, at point P vector A is this, but if I change any of the coordinate here, suppose I make it 0, then value of vector A will get changed here. So this is not a this one, or this one is not a uniform field. Now let's see some problem. If A is 10ax, okay, this is A cap actually. If A is 10ax minus 4ay plus 6az and B is 2ax plus ay, then you have to find component of A along ay and unit vector along A plus 2b. Okay, so what you have to do, if you have to find component of A along ay, so from this equation I can say component of A along ay is minus 4, because the format is ax plus ay plus az. Okay, I have written here, see, like this is the format actually, ax plus ay plus az. So component of A along ay is minus 4. Now you have to find unit vector along A plus 2b. So unit vector is what? Unit vector is vector divided by its magnitude. So you have to first find A plus 2b, and A plus 2b is something, okay, A plus 2b is will be 10 plus, this is 2x, but I have to find plus 2b. So 10 plus 2 times 2 in direction of ax, so this is 10 plus 4ax plus a this ay is minus 4 plus 2 times b, so it is 1 here actually, so it will be 2, so minus 4 plus 2 ay plus 6 plus, here is no z component, so it will be 0. So A plus 2b will be 10 plus 4ax plus minus 4 plus 2ay plus 6 plus 0 az. So this is your A plus 2b. Here magnitude of A plus 2b will be 14 square plus minus of 2 square plus 6 square whole under root. So unit vector A along A plus 2b will be vector, which is here, divided by its magnitude, which is here, and you will get unit vector along A plus 2b to be this value. Next problem is point P and Q are located at 0, 2, 4 and minus 3, 1, 5. Find a vector parallel to PQ with magnitude of 10. Okay, so here what will you do? You have to find, first you have to find a unit vector along PQ and then multiply this unit vector by 10, you will get the solution. And here, so we find vector PQ which is parallel to we find vector PQ by RPQ, which is RQ minus RP. So this is the vector PQ. Now I have to calculate unit vector along PQ. So unit vector along PQ will be vector upon its magnitude, and a vector parallel to PQ with magnitude of 10 will be this unit vector multiplied by 10 RPQ. This is this value. So this is your vector summation and basics about vector. And now we will move to vector multiplication. Now we will focus on vector multiplication. So we can have four types of vector multiplication. First for two vectors and then for three vectors. Or for two vectors we have scalar or dot product denoted by A dot B, vector or cross product denoted by A cross B. Actually we call this dot product as scalar because its output is a scalar quantity. So A dot B gives you a scalar quantity, so it is also known as scalar product. And this A cross B gives you a vector quantity, hence it is also known as vector product. Then we have scalar triple product, which is A dot B cross C. See, this B cross C gives you a vector, A is a vector, so vector dot vector will gives you a scalar quantity, hence it is scalar triple product. Vector triple product is A cross B cross C, and here B cross C is a vector, A is a vector, so a vector cross other vector gives you a vector. So this is vector triple product. Now we will discuss this in detail. What is scalar product? Scalar product A dot B is AB cos theta, and where this theta is angle between A and B, and normally this is the smaller angle. And also mathematically A dot B can be written like AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ, where AX BX AY BY AZ BZ are X component, Y component and Z component of vector A and vector B, as I have described earlier also. Here wait, I have described here also. So I will take this A and B only unless and until specified. So this is A dot B. So we, for dot product, we multiply component wise, we multiply components its axis wise. Now we will discuss in detail the products. So scalar product is A dot B is AB cos theta, where theta is angle, normally it is the smaller angle between A and B, and mathematically A dot B is AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ, where AX BX AY BY and AZ BZ are components of A and B in X, Y and Z direction. And this cos theta term, you can say, suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, this is your A vector, this is your B vector, and this angle is theta, then A dot B will be A into B into cos theta. And if this A dot B is 0, then what does it means? If A dot B is 0, that means angle between these two vectors must be 90 degree if none of this A or B is a null vector. That is, if mod A is not 0 and mod B is not 0, that means theta is 90 degree because cos theta is 0 for 90 degree. And in this case A and B are said to be orthogonal or perpendicular vectors. The laws which is followed by this scalar product is A dot B is B dot A, that is commutative. A dot B plus C is A dot B plus A dot C, that is distributive. Also A dot A is A square, and this AX dot AY will be equals to AX dot AZ will be equals to ay dot az equals to 0 because x y are perpendicular to each other, x z are perpendicular to each other, and y z are perpendicular to each other. So its dot product will be 0. And see why this a dot a is mod a square, because angle between a and a is 0, so cos 0 is 1. Again ax dot ax equals to ay dot ay is az dot az is 1, where this ax ay az are unit vectors. So these are some properties of scalar product. Next is your vector product. So vector product is denoted by a cross b, and it is ab sin theta multiplied by this an vector. This ab sin theta gives magnitude of a cross b, and this a n cap gives direction associated with this ab sin theta, because a cross b gives you a vector, so this vector must have some direction, and this an unit vector gives that particular direction. And this an is a unit vector normal to plane containing a and b. So this an is perpendicular to a and also perpendicular to b. You can see from here, suppose this is vector a, this is vector b, then this is the plane made by a and b, and this a cross b will be perpendicular to this plane, or normal to this plane, sorry, normal to the plane that contains this a and b. Okay, and this theta here, ab sin theta, this theta here is measured from a to b in counterclockwise direction, so it will be measured like in this direction, in counterclockwise direction. So a cross b can be calculated using or solving this determinant. Unit vector ax ay az, component of a which is ax ay az, and component of b which is bx by bz. Just solving this determinant, you will get a cross b like here, and the laws are here. A cross b is minus of b cross a. A cross a will be 0 because theta is 0 degree and sin theta will be 0. So a cross a is 0. A cross b cross c is not same as a cross b cross c. However, here a cross b plus c is a cross b plus a cross c. Also, since x, y and z are mutually perpendicular to each other, hence we will have x cross y equals to z, and then cyclic pattern follows, like x cross y gives you z, y cross z gives you x, and z cross x gives you y. But if it is like ay cross ax, then it will be minus az, and likewise. Now comes to scalar triple product. Scalar triple product gives you a scalar quantity, and it is written like a dot b cross c, and it also follows cyclic pattern. So a dot b cross c is same as b dot c cross a is same as c dot a cross b, and its value can be calculated by solving this determinant. X component of a, component of b, and component of c. So this is ax ay az, bx by bz, cx cy cz. Just solving this determinant, you will get scalar triple product's value. Next is vector triple product, and output of vector triple product will be a vector. So a cross b cross c, it follows actually back minus cap rule. So a cross b cross c is b times a dot c minus c times, this is vector a, vector b and vector c, so all are vector. So this is b times or vector b times a dot c minus vector c times a dot b. Just to remember this formula, you can remember this rule, back minus cap rule. And division of vector is undefined except when a and b are parallel, so that a is k times some b. If suppose this is a vector and other vector is like this, then we cannot divide these two vector. To have division in a vector, we must have two parallel vector. Now next is component of a vector. So suppose two vectors are here, vector a is here and vector b is here, separated by angle theta. So component of vector a along vector b will be what? See, this is a length, this is b, and this angle is theta. So component of a along b is this length, this one, and this is what? A cos theta, and I have denoted is like it by a suffix b, so it is like component of a along b, and this is your a cos theta. And we can also write this like mod of a multiplied by mod of unit vector along b, which is denoted by a cap b multiplied by cos theta, because this unit vector is 1, so this is like same only. And this a times unit vector ab cos theta is what? It is nothing but a dot a cap b. Okay, so unit vector of a along, sorry, not unit vector, component of a along b is what? A dot ab cap. So you have to just see what is the dot product. This is the means the vector of which you want to get component dot unit vector along which you want to get the component. Okay, now this is a scalar quantity, so I am just having component of vector a along vector b. But if you have to find vector component of a along b, then multiply this quantity by unit vector b, and you will get vector component of vector component of vector a along vector b. So it is like here a dot ab, this gives you magnitude and in the direction of ab, so it is ab cap, this gives you direction. Now let's solve a problem based on this. Suppose p equals to 2ax minus az, q equals to 2ax minus ay plus 2az, r is 2 times ax minus 3ay plus 4z. You have to find p dot qr, p dot q cross r, p cross q cross r, unit vector perpendicular to both q and r, and component of p along q. Okay, so these two are just direct problem based on these two equation. Okay, so p dot q cross r will be component of p, component of q, component of r. So component of p is what? 2, 0, minus 1. Component of q is what? 2, minus 1, 2. Component of r is what? 2, minus 3 and 1. Just solve this determinant and you will get the answer, and it is 14. Second is p cross q cross r. So just see here what is the rule. It is back minus cap. Okay, back minus cap. So p cross q cross r will be what? Q times p dot r minus r times p dot q. And what is this values? Q is what? Q is actually your 2 minus 1 2. Okay, I have written it like this because you can write it like this also, means 2ax minus ay plus 2az, but I have shown you that we can write vector like this also, so just for simplicity I have written it like this. And p dot r is what? See, p dot r, we will multiply it component wise because it is a dot product, so x component will get multiplied by means x component will get multiplied together, y component get multiplied together, and z component get multiplied together. So it will be ax, we have both, so 2 multiplied by 2, no y is 0, and az means 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1, that will be 3. So 4 minus 1 because that is 3 minus r. So just write vector r as it is. multiplied by p dot q. So p dot q component wise multiplication, because it is a dot product. So x gets multiplied by x, means x direction component gets multiplied by x direction component, y direction component gets multiplied by y direction component, and z direction component get multiplied by z direction component. So here what we have, x x, okay, so 2 multiplied by 2, and no y component here, and here we have -1, and here we have 2. For z component we have -1, and here we have 2. So overall p dot q will be 4 minus 2, that is 2. So this is your answer. Okay, just solve it. So you will get what, 6 minus 3, 6, minus 4 minus 6 plus 4 minus 6 comma 2. So when you solve this, you will get 2 3 4, which is equivalent to 2ax plus 3ay plus 4az. Okay, so you can just solve it, because it is like I am writing here 6 comma minus 3 comma 6, okay, minus 4 comma minus 6 comma 2. Now see, and we have minus sign here. So 6 minus 4 is 2. This is minus 3 minus of minus 6. So this is minus 3 plus 6. So this is 3, and 6 minus 2, which is 4. So this is 2, 3 and 4. So this is equivalent to what, 2ax plus 3ay plus 4az. So this is your p cross q cross r. Now next is unit vector perpendicular to both q and r. So you have to find unit vector which is perpendicular to both q and r. Now vector which is perpendicular to both q and r will be q cross r. So just divide q, means you have to find first q cross r and divide that q cross r by its magnitude, and it will gives you unit vector perpendicular to both q and r. So a and that unit vector perpendicular to both q and r will be q cross r divided by magnitude of q cross r, and after solving you will get this answer. And next is component of p along q. So component of p along q, you have to find component of p along q. So component of p means you have to take p dot a q cap, because component of this along this. So this will gives you component. But if you have to find vector component, then multiply this by a q cap, and I have done that here only. So p dot a q cap multiplied by a q. Actually I have calculated vector component here. So this is p dot. Now what is this unit vector aq? Unit vector aq is vector q divided by its magnitude, and unit vector aq is what, vector q divided by its magnitude. So solving this you will get this answer. So this is all about vector algebra. In next class we will see coordinate system, and in your course mainly we have to read rectangular coordinate system, cylindrical system, circular cylindrical system, and spherical coordinate system. Thank you.